What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Saturday, and y'all know what that means. That means we're gonna have us a good old time tonight. I'm your host, Emmanuel Eman Noisette. I want to thank each and every one of y'all for coming to hang out with me tonight. I really do appreciate it. We've got a couple of fun topics to talk about today. We've got some stuff, some updates with WB and Netflix, that whole deal, especially with Paramount. We also have some MCU updates that we will get into, and then Scorsese. Gonna talk real quick. We're gonna talk about Scorsese as well. But hey, guys, I know it's a Saturday night. Some of y'all still want to go out and do some things. Look, it is past my bedtime, so I can't do all that. Them days is over for me. But I will not hold you guys too long. So we do have a shorter show today. So let's kind of get into it. First and foremost, let's grab some quick shout outs to see who has made it out today. We've got Diane. Diane, appreciate you coming through. Paulette, what is up? My man King Chad Reese is here. Dexter Reason, what is up? Only Samke, how you doing? Andrew, what is up? Kristen Pratt holding it down for the Mod Squad. Appreciate you. By the way, do want to give condolences to Alib, longtime EFAM member. I know she's been going through some things, especially with her family. Just want you to know we are thinking about you. We miss you. I know you checking it out on the replay, but we are thinking about you and the fam. So shout out to you and hope all is well. We are definitely keeping you on our minds. Jason, appreciate you coming through. My man Mike is here. Listen, I'll get into that. Okay, I will get into where I've been, what I'm doing. I'll get into that. Hold on. Jay, what is up? Animals are cute. My man Mitch is back. How y'all doing? Nelson V showing up. Appreciate you. Eugene, how you doing? Tracy, always a pleasure. Wait, let me get you. There we go. Tracy, thank you. There we go. Always a pleasure. Christy, how you doing? Theo, what is up? Amanda, William, Tyrone, what is going on? Bose, Terrell, how are you? Stamina, how you doing? Regina, good to see you. Ray, how are you? Tanya, appreciate you. IMAX, what is up? Chill Spot, Andrew, all of y'all. Shout out to everybody who's watching on the replay as well. I do appreciate y'all. As for the question of where I've been, y'all, I've been busy. There have been a lot of things going on, a lot of things that have been happening, and I have had to make some moves. I've had to make some moves. I had to do a couple stuff, but at the end of the day, never, ever, ever forget that I am always working for y'all every single time. Okay, I'm always working for you guys. So let me see if I got some stuff I can show y'all. Where was I going? I was on a mission. This is definitely a throwback, but I was on a mission. Your boy was out there. Shout out to AFCA. Your boy was out there at the AFCA Awards out there in LA. So I went out there for a little bit, had to show my face real fast, do my thing. I did not take a lot of pictures. I wish I did, but I did not. But your boy was out there. And yes, this was part of my secret mission. And while I was out there, I had a mission. And unfortunately, that mission failed. Unfortunately, I failed the mission. Not because I didn't try. It's just that it just didn't come together. So I'm gonna point one more thing out here. Bam! Look at the stage. Look who's on the stage. Yes, the Sinners cast was given a the Best Picture award at the AFCA Award. Shout out to Gil Robertson for that. And y'all might notice center stage, Mr. Ryan Coogler and your boy right there. Right, you might notice that, right? So one of the missions that I had was, my goal was to find a way, because I was told that Damson Idris and Ryan Coogler were going to be at this event. My goal was to get both of these brothers in a picture together. I wanted to bring the worlds together. Okay, I couldn't do it at Celebration of Black Cinema, and I tried to do it at AFCA. I did get a chance to talk to Ryan, so that was cool. Straight up, always, stand-up dude. It was kind of funny because like he was doing his red carpet or whatever, and I'm just in the background. Like I'm literally it's the red carpet, it's the photographers and everybody. I'm in the back. I'm just in the back chilling. I'm drinking. Out of nowhere, Ryan's like, "Hey, what's up, bro? What's up, bro?" I'm like, "Oh, what's going on?" So, like, just the fact that he could recognize me all the way from the back, cool. So, that was cool. But yeah, I failed in that mission. I tried to get Ryan and Damson together. I just wanted to listen. I wanted to create some controversy. All right, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. I wanted to create a little bit of chaos by having those two there. Now, I did get a consolation prize. The consolation prize was while I was there, Aldous Hodge was also there, right? Now, one thing, and this is just my personal policy. I don't really like to take multiple pictures with celebrities or whatever if I already had one, right? Like if I already got a picture with you, like we don't need to keep doing that, right? I got my little keepsake. I'm happy. That's cool. But I did go up to Aldous and I did thank him. I thanked him for what he's been saying about Chadwick Boseman, about the role, about the role of Black Panther. So I did talk to him about that, and I expressed my appreciation for that. And I could tell y'all right now, I mean, all he did was double down. He doubled down on it. And he was very, very, you can tell he was passionate about making sure that Chadwick's legacy was honored. And I was so appreciative of that. And I told him, I was like, "Hey man, I've been pushing for you to play T'Challa too. Like I'm stirring the pot, and I told him that, yeah, all that recast T'Challa stuff, yes. And he was like, "Oh, that was you." I was like, "Hey, yeah, but not the bad stuff." I had to make sure. I was like, "Listen, none of the sexist stuff, none of the negative stuff, all the loving stuff, that was us." And I made sure to let him know that what he was saying is the backbone of what we were going for with recast T'Challa in terms of not only for Black representation and keeping it positive, but also honoring Chadwick by keeping the role going and making him the beginning of a legacy and not the end. So that was it was really, really nice to be able to communicate with him about that, and for him to just be of like mind. So shout out to Aldous Hodge for that. Next up, another reason, and this is why y'all listen again. If y'all don't see me, either I'm sick, I'm hanging out with my family, or I'm working for y'all, or a combination of both. Like I might be working and I'm sick. So one thing, by the way, yes, thank you for that. Where is he at? Where is he at? Just my opinion. Y'all make sure y'all go subscribe. Yes, I did. I did meet up with Van. We got to talk, exchange info. Cool guy. Always been a fan of Van. He's been a recast T'Challa supporter as well. We actually talked about that as well. So it was really nice being able to meet up with him at the AFCA Awards as well. So yes, thank you for that. But what I did want to say, and I mean, I think all of you or most of you have already seen this so far. I've got a little project that I'm cooking up, and it is called Critics on Critics. So if you haven't seen it already, please make sure you do go check it out. I've got the shorts, I got the long form. But yes, Critics on Critics is going to be the new that's my new baby, right? That's my new project That's going to be what I'm going to try and expand on over time. Just actually not even an hour ago, I was coordinating. So I'm trying to get the next 4-5 episodes out, right? Like I need the hardest part. I got to get everybody scheduled together. I got to get everybody on one page. I have to prep the episodes and everything. So that is going to be the next thing for me, God willing. Listen, that might be the next thing. I don't know, but you got to shoot your shot, right? You got to shoot your shot. So be on the lookout for more Critics on Critics, where yes, I will have critics debating. I will have, listen, we ain't here for that kumbaya stuff. Okay. I need people with strong opinions. I need people, we gonna talk about certain topics that I think will not alienate everyone else. This ain't gonna be no inside baseball stuff. Okay. We need to talk about things that everybody has a stake in. And I'm gonna drop a couple episodes, but I got this one episode I'm cooking up. And I'm gonna tell y'all this now because I know, this is just between us. Whew. The hardest thing about creating a show and being the moderator of that show is resisting the urge to get in that debate chair myself. Okay, because there's some it's a couple times and a couple topics I'm like, wait a minute, let me get in this. Okay, and I don't know how that's gonna work. I don't know how I'm gonna hold my composure because y'all, there's gonna be a couple episodes y'all know are gonna be near and dear to my heart, but I'm gonna have to restrain myself, and I'm gonna let other people do their thing. Okay, I'm gonna let other people do their thing, and maybe one day, I don't know how we're gonna make that work, but I definitely encourage you guys to check that out, and your feedback is welcome. Right, I am starting this thing from scratch. So if there are certain topics that you would love to hear critics debate, please let me know. Always feel free. I'm reading all the commentary, the comments in the I'm reading the comments. So if you guys have suggestions, if you're like, man, I really like this, or man, we could tweak this a little better, let's go, right? Because I want this to be a fine-tuned machine at some point. So anywho, what you got here? Have I watched Knights of the Seven Kingdoms? First 3 episodes, slow. Good. Trading the House on Dragon. Okay, so thank you so much for that, Latavia. I hope I got that right. So a couple of things. I had so many trailers that I wanted to play for y'all, but the copyrights hit up real fast. Which ones were they? So there was the Toy Story one, Toy Story 5. I wanted to do some reactions on that, but they were just not playing. They would have shut the whole live down, so couldn't do that. There was the House of Dragon. Y'all already know. First and foremost, we covering them dragons. Okay, we are covering them dragons. So that unfortunately we could not. I couldn't put up. But the other one, and if you have not seen this, I can't play it here. But definitely yes. The Mummy, that one is different. I wanted to play that, but I know y'all scary, so I can't play that here. But I wanted to play that one. I like that one only because it now looks like it looks more like a demon possession movie, which is right up my alley. So I am here for the Mummy. We ain't talking about Brendan Fraser's Mummy. The Lee Cronin Mummy movie, that's different. So I am here for that. But I ain't gonna play that because I know y'all scary. But it's the Is God Is. If you have not watched the Is God Is trailer, please go watch it. All I can think of was this was Black Kill Bill. Okay, this was the blackety black Kill Bill that I didn't know I needed. Okay, I didn't know I needed. I'm watching this. I'm curious. The cast looks amazing. You got Vivica A. Fox. You got Sterling K. Brown. Man, listen, I'm here for this. I want to see this. I'm there. I am there. I'm gonna be all over that. So is God is. It's not a religious movie. Okay, it is not a religious movie. Make sure you go check that out if you haven't already. But yeah, I wish I could have played all those, but unfortunately, YouTube was not playing nice. All right, let's grab some of these comments here. Barbara, what you got? Love your sweatshirt. Thank you so much. Listen, hey, it's still Black History Month, right? Shout out to Black History Month. And it's a little sad. It's a little sad that, and I haven't checked, so I'm just saying I haven't seen it, that both Marvel and DC have been a little quiet. They've been a little quiet. James Gunn, I'm looking at you, sir. I'm looking at you. And that's a whole nother conversation for another day. But it is very disappointing that both platforms, Marvel and especially DC, would be taking a back seat and being a lot more silent than they used to be. I'm not saying they've never posted nothing. I'm not saying they haven't put out a little one-shot comic highlighting Black characters. I'm saying y'all not keeping the same energy that you did before. And I wonder, is it because of a certain administration? I don't know. Probably. But it is very disappointing. Matter of fact, I got this sweatshirt from Target because during Black History Month, Target, before it got allergic to DEI, was actually promoting Black content creators, and they had a whole section of Marvel Black stuff, and I immediately put my money where my mouth is and went to go support the independent, creator on that. But could you find that at Target today? No, not at all. But anyway, but thank you for that. And thank you for supporting the channel like that, y'all. I really do appreciate it. I hope that is never lost on anybody. Like I'm always eternally grateful when you guys support the channel the way that you do. Natalie, what you got? EFAM, happy to report after being laid off last stream, I have found a new job. Come on. Come on. I'll be using my severance as a down payment for a God is good. Come on, for a house. Yes. Yes. I love to hear it. Fantastic. Congratulations. I didn't I tell you things was going to turn out? I told you things was going to be all right. Yes. Congratulations. I appreciate you. What's this? Terrell, what you got? Remember a few years ago when I mentioned my car was stolen in Chicago? I believe so. I got a new one a few months later and moved to Hoffman Estates. Also, my salary doubled. Oh, okay. Okay, listen, come through praise reports. Okay, man, listen. Congratulations, brother. I know about Hoffman Estates. That's a mighty nice area over there. I can't afford it, but I'm glad you can. Okay, I'm glad you can. Congratulations, brother. That is fantastic. Man, come on, winning stories. I love to see people winning in life. Let's go. JM, what you got? What up, E-Man? That cognac suit is clean. That hoodie reminds me of waiting for my actively Black Nicholas Smith Toussaint Louverture shirt to arrive. That's what I'm talking about. That is fantastic. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And shout out to the wife. Shout out to Mrs. E-Man, because she was the one that always, she is my fashion consultant. She's the one, because I was about to wear something that I don't think I would. It wouldn't have hit the same. It wouldn't have hit the same. But my wife was like, no, that's the one. Stop. Do that. Stop overthinking. Do that suit. I was like, okay, there, I got you. Let's see, JM, what you got? Do you have a Substack? Your commentary could make for some good reads. Side note, the Ray and Nephew Rum Punch may knock me out. Could be. Replay gang. Shout out to the replay gang. I have not. To be very honest with y'all, I still am not very familiar with Substack. I just found out that you can put videos and stuff on there. So that's going to be another thing. Whew, man, y'all don't understand. Like being a content creator, there are a lot of pressures that come along with it. And I'm not trying to, woe is me. This is actually more so just for anyone who wants to become a content creator. It's work, right? It is absolutely work because the nature of content creation is constantly changing. We used to be in an era where you need to just make high quality, pristinely edited videos. And now, thanks to TikTok and Instagram and people's attention spans being shorter, now it's like, nah, we just need content. So it's now quantity over quality. And every time a new social platform comes out, you got to go learn that new platform. And I'm not talking about the technical stuff. I'm talking about you have to learn the behavior and the mindset that comes. You got to understand the psychology. So, for example, and I know I'm giving a little side quest right now, but this might help somebody. The same people that go on YouTube, the same people that go on Facebook are not the same people that go on TikTok. They're not the same people that go watch long form videos on YouTube. They're not the same people that watch things and scroll on Instagram. All of these different platforms have completely different attention spans. They have different wants. They have different desires. And guess what? You can't just cookie cutter one thing and make it for everybody. You're going to have to slice and dice and make sure you make it palatable for every single one. There was a long time I couldn't get on TikTok because I was like, yo, if I get on TikTok, I actually have to be on TikTok. And I don't know about y'all, but if y'all have been on TikTok, I'll be sitting here like, all right, let me get on TikTok. It's tomorrow. What happened? What? I just got on. Like TikTok will suck up your whole life from doom scrolling, right? But you also start to learn how and what works. Same thing with, like Facebook, man. I get on Facebook, like, all right, blah, 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 man, whatever. I'm out of here. You know what I'm saying? But like YouTube, hey, I'm not on there to watch short stuff. I want to watch maybe 10-minute videos. Maybe now I'll watch a 2-hour podcast. Like, so to your question, I know there's a long answer. I have to go learn what makes Substack. Is it the written stuff? Are people messing with the video stuff? I have to go jump in there, figure it out. And then, yeah, I'll figure it out. I don't know. Like, do I need to do a subscription? I don't know. But that's a long thing on the to-do list. Right now, I need this Critics on Critics to work. I'm still working on From content, by the way, for my Fromily out there. I might have a theory out there. It might not even be a theory, but I might have a video for y'all sometime. So I might just hold tight. But anyway, what about the new Frankenstein movie? Okay, just real quick. I did enjoy the Frankenstein movie. Wait. It's a couple ones. Are you talking about The Bride with Christian Bale and what was that, Lady Gaga or whoever? I ain't watching that. I'm not watching that. If you're talking about the Guillermo del Toro with Jacob Elordi Frankenstein that's on Netflix, I did watch it. I liked it. Best part about it to me was the fact that you had two stories going on at the same time. Excuse me. And it was similar to the book, so I did like that. So thank you for that. JN, the new Dakota Static comic was leaked too. Oh, okay. I didn't know that. And shout out to Dakota Comics and Milestone, man. Like, man, we need more of that. Let's see. EFAM, life is rough for assist right now. Prayers, please. Oh man, listen, whatever you're going through, we got you. Positive vibes and energy here for you and everyone as well. But hopefully everything will work itself out for you. What's this? Nelson, what you got? Daredevil past seasons is on my list to watch. Now, Nelson, what are you doing? I don't even want to read the rest of this yet. I don't even want to read. What are you doing? We know that Daredevil has been on your list to watch. We know that. So has Blade 1 and 2. So has Raid 1 and 2. What are you doing? What are you doing? What are you talking about? Why would you come on here and remind us about the list of things you need to watch that we have been reminding you for? It's been 4 years now. It's got to be 4 years. Sir. What else you get? What else? So, okay. Past seasons has been on the list to watch before the new season starts next month. Okay. Surprise, we haven't seen a Spider-Man Brand New Day trailer yet. All right, sir. I mean, maybe, but I'm okay with that. We do actually have a quick update for Spider-Man Brand New Day. And we will get to that a little later. I need you to watch an episode. Like just turn on the TV. Turn on the TV and just start. Just start. All right, what are we doing? I got to get y'all out of here. All right, let's go. Unfortunately, we do have a lot of bad news. In the past 2 weeks, we've lost a couple folks, y'all. So let's just go through the RIPs. First up, we've got James Vanderbeek. He has passed away at the age of 48. I believe he was battling cancer. For those of you that don't know, he was one of the main stars in Dawson's Creek. He passed away. Now, I don't want to get too detailed about this, but remember how I always tell y'all, like when people pass away, it's always like one of the most telling things is like what they say about you after. And, you know, I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I was disappointed. Now, I haven't verified this, but I was disappointed when I learned about his certain political views that he still had. That disappointed me. Now, that doesn't make his passing any less tragic or anything like that. Cancer sucks. 48 is still too young, period. But I'm not going to sugarcoat it and act as though, yeah, certain views that you had, yeah, that did it tainted my memory of you. It just tainted it a little bit because it's like, man, that's the way you viewed people? Those are the policies you supported? So rest in peace to James Vanderbeek. Definitely still a sad situation. You also had another one in Robert Duvall. Died at the age of 95. This is like one of those classic actors. What was it? Apocalypse Now, The Godfather. His resume is impeccable. If you watched anything, I mean, I got on Robert Duvall in the 90s, but this man has been cooking since the 70s, if not earlier than that. A legend in the industry. I haven't heard anything bad about him. I haven't heard nothing too bad about him, so I'm going to just assume things are fine with him. But yeah, he passed away, and then right after that, it felt like this was back to back to back. Eric Dane. Eric Dane also passed away. For my Grey's Anatomy fans, he was I think he was, what was it, McSteamy? I think he was the McSteamy guy. My wife was telling me she watched it more than I do. But Eric Dane passed away. He was also the bad guy in the most recent Bad Boys film. If you just are unfamiliar with him, and I think he had ALS, which again, I mean, 53. Just I hate that, right? Like it feels like you still have so much more life to live with that. Oh, he was on The Last Ship. Is that it? I didn't watch The Last Ship, so but if he was on there, shout out to him for that. But the thing that's probably a little bit more heartbreaking is that he did a 50-minute interview where he reflected on his battle with ALS and his own legacy. And the understanding was that the interview would be only shared with the world after he passed away. And it's now on Netflix. I did not watch it. I did see a clip of it. And the very first thing, obviously, because he's got ALS, like, he's having issues speaking. But the very first thing he does, at least in that clip, was he addressed his kids. And first thing he said was like, I tried. And I'm not gonna lie, thug tears came down. That broke my heart, because I could totally understand and connect and resonate with the fact that as a father, as a parent, you don't want to leave your kids too early, right? Like you want to see them grow up. You want to see them, do life, and be fine. That's the main thing. You want to make sure. I tell my kids all the time, one of my best goals, one of my primary goals is to make sure I make you guys into responsible, functional adults. I want to make sure that you guys are good, because if I have to worry about you, then I know I haven't done my job, right? If you are out there living in the world and you can't provide for yourself, you can't, you making mistakes and stuff. I mean, you're gonna make mistakes, but I got to make sure that I've done everything to prepare you for life, so that way when I leave this life, I can leave in peace, right? I can say, hey, I did my job, y'all are good, pass it on. So yeah, that whole scene, that clip was definitely heartbreaking. But if you are interested, you could go watch it on Netflix right now. But rest in peace to Vanderbeek, Duval, and to Eric Dane. Definitely gone too soon. Yeah. So any comments, thoughts you guys have, or memories, please feel free to share those in the comments down below. All right, let's get through some quick updates. We got a couple of things in the movie world we'll go through real quick. Excuse me. We got K-pop Demon Hunters. The Sony animation bosses have said that basically y'all not getting this sequel until maybe 2029. 29. Whoo, that's 3 more years. So remember Into the Spider-Verse and all that. Listen, these animation type movies, they take a while. Now, what's wild to me, and we will get into this a little later, but what's wild to me is y'all can't have AI help you with this. Y'all can't have AI maybe speed this up just a little bit, just a little bit. Listen, I'm not trying to put nobody out of a job. All I'm saying is, I feel like, given what we've been seeing so far, because I'm sure many of y'all have seen a lot of these AI videos and stuff, somebody got to be able to cut some corners. Because 4 years for a movie to come out, that's, whew, man. I ain't talking about like mains. I'm talking about like do the background, do the transit. Maybe, I don't know. Okay. Well, anyway, it was funny. I told my daughter, my 9-year-old, that because she loves K-pop Demon Hunters. I was like, hey, it's not coming out for like 3 more years. And she was like, what? I'm gonna be in middle school by then. I was like, yeah. Sorry. um, what else do we have? Oh, for now, I have not seen this movie. Now, I kind of know, I know people have seen it. It was just on my, it was never on my radar. I didn't watch it, but Plane with Gerard Butler and Mike Coulter. If you have seen, if you have seen the movie, there was always talk of a sequel, and there was a sequel until there wasn't, because Plane 2 has crashed. Gerard Butler decided he didn't want to move forward with the film just 2 weeks before production began. Yikes. That's wild. Now, I don't know, he didn't really give a reason. Now, this was an interview with Mike Coulter, and he was the one that said, like, hey, he just stopped, right? But I don't know. Like, I feel like that's kind of bogus. Like, unless you had a health situation or you had some sort of, like, unforeseen emergency, you're talking about people that have put aside a certain budget to make this movie. I mean, 2 weeks. You're talking about 2 weeks, right? 2 weeks to get a multi-million-dollar movie going, a whole production. You had people that probably fixed their whole schedules that were counting on this film to pay their rent or whatever. You're talking about people who, Mike Coulter, right? Like, maybe he had some other jobs that he turned down because he really wanted to do this. That to me is real shady. Again, I hope Gerard Butler has a really, really good excuse. I hope he does. Because when you're talking about making a movie, you're talking about like hundreds of people are involved. And for you to just pull out like that and scrap the whole thing, that's kind of trash to me. That's kind of trash. Now, hopefully, again, because I'm saying you had time to look at the script. You had time to look at everything. You had time to make your schedule. You pulling out that soon? Man, I really hope that was a good excuse. I really do. Because that's really, really inconsiderate, of all the other people that are involved. But we'll see. Anyway, we got some Academy stuff. Oh, the Academy will no longer host theatrical screenings to members for films that are nominated for Oscars. So these movies that are nominated, Sinners, One Battle, etc., the Academy will usually have these screenings at movie theaters, so that way, different people in the Academy, directors, actors, producers, whoever, can go watch the movie and they can evaluate it, because they are the ones that are going to vote on who wins Best Picture, who wins Best Actor, etc. But here's a problem. And this is according to the Academy. This is why they're not doing it no more. This has been most evident at post-nomination screening. So after they have the nominations, after you don't have to watch 100 movies or whatever. After hey, here are the 10 movies that are nominated, an average of only 5 members attended these screenings in the last 2 years. The last 2 years, they said about 4-5 people showed up. That's it. So when we talk about the Academy, and remember, if you watch my Critics on Critics, we just talked about, do the Oscars still matter? Do the Academy still matter? This is a valid situation that is brought up, because if you're not watching the movies, what are you voting for? You voting for your friends? You voting for somebody that just told you to vote for something? Like, what are you doing? Because, one of the arguments that was also in that article was some Academy members are saying, like, yo, why are y'all not showing these things in theaters? We can't watch these movies on our computer screen or at home and get the same vibe. We can't, that's not fair. We need to watch it in the theater. Show up. Then show up. What are you doing? Is it more than 5 of y'all saying this? Because it's only about 5 of y'all showing up. Don't get mad, because it costs the Academy thousands of dollars to, I don't know how much they said. They say, yeah, it says it costs the organizations thousands of dollars a pop. Every time they rent out an entire theater to have these celebrities, directors, producers, whoever come and watch this, it costs them thousands of dollars. But y'all not showing up. So y'all not showing up. It's costing a lot of money. You're not getting the full theatrical experience that these movies are intended to provide. It makes me question the value of your voting now. I have to, because I'm already convinced that a lot of these Academy members don't watch all the movies anyway. And that's a problem in itself. I'll never forgive the Academy for when they did the little anonymous Academy voters or whatever. I'll never forgive y'all for sitting here talking about y'all didn't even want to watch Get Out because you didn't think it was for you. Who cares if it was for you or not? When I have to sit here and go watch Banshees of Inisherin, that movie ain't for me. Ain't nothing about that movie for me. But I go watch it because I have to do my due diligence when I'm doing voting for Critics' Choice or other organizations. It doesn't matter if it's for me or not. That's the role that you take on when you become a voting member. If you don't want to do that, you don't have to be a voting member. Did we not talk about Ryan Coogler? He opted not to join the Academy. Why? Because he says, I'm not good at judging things. I don't like judging one versus another. As much as I wish we could have another brother to help with the numbers, I can respect and understand that he doesn't want to be a part of that system. Okay, fine. Right? So I'm just like, the whole voting system is ridiculous. But again, that's a whole nother conversation. Speaking of the Academy Awards and stuff like that, I have not been shy about my concerns when it comes to Sinners versus One Battle After Another. And there are always certain signs that will indicate where the industry feels and where they will go with their voting. And, I've always said that, like, a lot of times, or most times, if you win for Best Director, you're probably going to also win Best Picture. Well, it looks like we have one sign here. And that's Paul Thomas Anderson has won the Director Guild Award for Best Feature Film with One Battle After Another. So in case you did not know, the DGA, that's all the directors. That's the Christopher Nolan's, James Cameron, that's Steven Spielberg. That's all the directors in Hollywood voted Paul Thomas Anderson for having the best feature film with One Battle After Another. Here's one of the reasons why I don't like this. One of the reasons why is because, if I'm not mistaken, Christopher Nolan, who, if I believe he's the head of the DGA, Christopher Nolan had to go out of his way and make an entire screening of other directors to come and watch Sinners. Something tells me that same level of energy and effort was not needed for One Battle After Another. That, to me, is a problem. The fact that y'all probably didn't have the same desire and energy to get up and go watch Sinners unless the president of your organization, one of the highest regarded peers in your industry, is holding a private screening to entice you to actually even watch it. Something's wrong. Something is wrong. Now, to counter that, for whatever it's worth, we got Kevin Feige out here. Kevin Feige says Sinners should win Best Picture at the Oscars. He says the Academy doesn't always, in my opinion, recognize the movies that are most relevant for audiences today, but boy, did they hit it with this one. And he's right. He's right. Do y'all remember the Twitter beef I got into with the film bros when I said one battle after another? Ain't nobody gonna be talking about this movie after the awards, and they got all in their feelings. They was like, "Oh my god, ah! What do you mean? It's PTA, PTA. Everybody talks about PTA." When I talk about cultural impact of a film, you have to understand that that should be one of the many factors that plays a role in the quality of a film. It shouldn't be the only factor, but it should be one of the factors. And Sinners was by far the most culturally impactful and relevant film of the year. That doesn't mean One Battle didn't have some cultural impact, but Sinners had far more. Is that the only reason Sinners is better than One Battle? No. But it's damn near a good reason in itself as well. Because if it resonates with people, if it's connecting with an audience, I say job well done. Sounds like a best picture to me. So Kevin Feige's right here. He's got it. Let's shift a little bit. What else do we have? Oh, let's do a little movie stuff here. A Charlie's Angels reboot is in the works. And the same guy that did Crazy Rich Asians is going to write the script. And I have to ask the inquisitive question of why. I mean, Charlie's Angels was popular. What was it? 70s? Maybe? I don't know. It was before my time. They tried it. You know, when did this one come out? Was this the 2000s? With Charlize there? That's not even Charlize there. Cameron? Charlie's Angels movie. When did this come out? This was 2000 with Cameron Diaz. 2000. I mean, I guess. Listen, I to be honest with y'all, I wasn't checking for this movie when they did the remake. I like Lucy Liu. Like, I like Cameron Diaz. She was hot, you know. She was a hot rising star back in the early 2000s. That was her peak. That was her prime. This movie had no reason to I had no reason to go watch this movie. I just wasn't interested. I wasn't interested back then. I'm still not interested now. And once again, I have to ask, who are you trying to appeal to? Because I feel like when you're taking things that were at their peak in the 70s, you're chasing that audience. And the people that were, I don't know, 20, 30 something, 40 years old in the 70s, are they the main target today that you want? Because I'm pretty sure they get the blue plate special at IHOP right now. I'm pretty sure they got AARP cards. I'm not trying to be ageist. I'm just speaking from a matter of fact. If that's the audience you're trying to still chase, something could be wrong. Now, I don't know who they will get to star in this. Maybe that makes a difference, but in today's world where everything is politicized and you know a certain section of the internet gonna be so mad just because, oh, here we go with the DEI, Power Rangers or whatever they want to call them. I don't know. Like, is that still the best bet? I don't know. But listen, best of luck. I hope it works. Barbie was a success. So maybe this could be too. We'll see. Ooh, I am looking forward to this. We know The Boys final season is coming out. Carl Urban says nobody's safe in the final season. Nobody's safe. He says this season from episode 1, you're like, wow, nobody is safe. Fatalities right from the get-go. Listen, everybody finna die. I'm already convinced everybody's gonna die, and that's just it. Nobody's safe. That's exactly what I expect from The Boys. And given the fact that they have a final season, I'm okay. I'm okay with this. Like, let's go. Don't hide. Make it all work. So I am looking forward to The Boys final season for sure. Oh, do y'all remember they actually have the Harry Potter TV series coming out? Remember how all those nasty people online was already giving some of the kids all this hatred and stuff because Hermione isn't the pasty white person that we want to see, so this has got to be bad. And they made Snape a black man, and just all the butt hurtness, right? Well, the original cast, especially with Daniel Radcliffe, I like the fact that he actually had something to say. And he said here, listen, don't pressure the child actors in this reboot by comparing them to the OG cast. Don't ask about us, me, Emma, Rupert, all the time. I would like not to be weird spectral phantoms in these children's lives. Just let them get on with it. It's going to be a new, different thing. And he is 100% right. That's all you need, right? Let these kids do what they do. Listen, let this Harry Potter capture the attention and imagination of a new generation, right? For the ones that couldn't grow up with, Daniel Radcliffe, just let them be. We don't have to play the comparison game. We don't have to because this will be something a little different, and let it be. Listen, and the other thing too, and I really hope people understand this, it's all fiction. It's fiction. Magic, goblins, the witches, sorcerers, people flying around. Chill out. Y'all got to chill out. Okay? Like and seriously, I don't care who it is. If y'all attacking child actors, go away. Like, how low can you be? How low can your self-esteem be that you want to, grab clicks or feel good about yourself attacking child actors like that? Like, man, that is low of low to me. A little Spider-Man. Now we've heard, of course, there's always been the situation of Miles Morales. Who's gonna play Miles Morales in a live action, Miles Morales Spider-Man movie? Now, I have always said I'm cool with a lot of these different choices. Everybody has their certain favorites, but of course, Caleb McLaughlin from Lucas, who played in Stranger Things, he's always been a fan favorite, right? A lot of people have been talking about him to do it. And if you've watched like any of his Instagrams or social media, you see that he's into spin jitsu, where he's flipping. Okay, he's doing what Tom Holland was doing, not exactly the same, right before Tom Holland got the role of Spider-Man. Right? So Tom Holland, one of the things that got him that role was he was showing Marvel, hey, look, I do gymnastics. I do flips. He was flipping in his backyard. He was doing all, nobody was checking for this man, right? Until he showed Marvel, hey, yo, I could do this. Look at this. Wah, wah, did his little flips and stuff. And Marvel was like, yo, so he could act and he could do the physical stuff? Sounds good. So now Caleb is out there doing his little spin jitsu where he's running and doing spins in the air and all this. He's doing some work. He's doing some work. So, you know, whether he's trying to audition, we don't know. But he did comment on his thoughts of playing Miles Morales. He said, I would love to play Miles Morales in a Marvel movie. I think Miles represents something bigger than myself, bigger than most people. Also, being from New York and seeing the Spider-Verse story is really connected with me. Now, here's one thing. When it comes to Miles Morales, and I want to make sure that I am as accurate as possible with this, and I don't know his actual parenthood, his parentage, or anything like that. But from my understanding, I think he is straight up African American, if I'm not mistaken. But Miles is Black and Hispanic. He is Black and Latino, right? I don't think that should be ignored. I don't think it should be ignored. Mainly because, you know, he has a Puerto Rican mom, right? Yes, he has a Puerto Rican mom. He has a Black African American father. Miles is bilingual, you know. To me, it feels as though because that is actually integral to his character, it would feel a little awkward to have Caleb just join in and go take that role. Now I don't know. I mean, listen, maybe Caleb can speak some Spanish, you know, I'm sure he could learn it. But I would be a little disappointed if there was a Afro-Latino actor, maybe that can also play the role very well, if they kind of get dismissed in that way. So in a perfect world, I would hope they can get an Afro-Latino to do this role. If they can't, right? Like if they can't, and if they, for whatever reason, there's just Caleb is the only one that can do it, fine, right? Just you know, get your Babylon, get your Spanish lessons on, and figure it out, and do what you got to do with you know, your training and stuff. And of course, while we are on the subject of training, it's time to check in on Finn Jones. Let's see what he's up to. Not a thing. Not a thing. It looks like his page has not updated since the last time we came and checked up on him. He might be still out there chasing waterfalls. He's given a peace sign. Finn Jones, for all we know and all we can know, is what he shares with us. It still appears as though he is not interested in training for the role of Iron Fist. It would appear as though he still thinks that maybe he'll train 2 hours before the day of something. I don't know. Maybe whatever he's looking at over here, maybe he's looking at people train off into the distance. Maybe he's right here. Maybe he's thinking of training. Like I heard that is a type of training where you just do mental visualizations. But it looks like Finn Jones is doing nothing. So that's the update we have for that. What else do we have? We got some more stuff. Let's stick with Spider-Man. We do have apparently an animated Venom movie is in the works. The same guys that gave us Final Destination Bloodlines are going to direct this. And for some reason, Tom Hardy is involved. Now, if you want to tell me that Tom Hardy is involved as the voice, you know how they kind of distort the voice, fine. I'm okay with that. I don't mind. Here's what I don't want though. I don't want Tom Hardy in the writer's room like he was in the last Venom movie. I don't want Tom Hardy giving input on anything else creatively like he was with the last Venom movies. And I'm saying this respectfully. If you want to do your voice stuff, that's fine. But creatively, he has not demonstrated that whatever ideas he comes up with Venom are good. Just it's just not. It's just not. My concern, I do like the idea of getting these Final Destination guys on there. I like the Final Destination movie. That was not bad. I think that going animated is not bad either. I mean, so far, Sony has not messed up their animated Spider-Man stuff. They did give us Into and Across the Spider-Verse. My only concern is if they try to double down on what the movies were doing. Once again, there's absolutely no real reason why you can't have Venom and Spider-Man in the same movie. The biggest problem with Venom movies is the fact that they did it all without Spider-Man. Now, on an animated level, you can put Spider-Man in there, right? I'm pretty sure they own the rights still. So they can do whatever they want with that. There is no, oh, Marvel said that this. No. Y'all can do whatever y'all want in the animated side. But I really hope that they don't make the same mistake for the fourth time by trying to make a Venom movie without Spider-Man at all. At least if Spider-Man exists, if Spider-Man is in the background, fine. He doesn't have to be the main character. But if you don't have a Venom that is with that on-site, wherever Spider-Man's at energy, you're wasting everyone's time. Because even from the comics, and I need y'all to learn from the comics, Venom didn't really catch steam until he started having his issues with Spider-Man. Nobody really cared about Venom until he was beefing with him on site. So right now, if y'all still try to keep pushing Venom with no Spider-Man, that's not even putting the cart before the horse. That's just putting the cart up and then the horse ain't even nowhere around. You just got a cart just in the middle of the road. What are you doing? So good luck with that. Good luck. What else do we have? Oh, we were talking about butt hurt people before. This will be interesting. This will be interesting. But Bad Bunny will star in his first lead film role called Puerto Rico alongside Viggo Mortensen, Ed Norton, and Javier Bardem. The film follows the story of Jose Maldonado, who fought against colonialism by leading a gang of ex-convicts to vindicate Puerto Rico. Y'all done gave this man a whole halftime show. And now y'all gave him a lead movie with name actors, quality actors at that. All I want to know now is, will Turning Point USA come up with an alternative all-American movie about George Washington. I feel like that's what it's going to be. And Kid Rock has to star as George Washington. That's more than likely what this will be about. Right? Like that if we're following the patterns, that's where we're going, right? Did y'all enjoy that Super Bowl show? I didn't watch either one. I was on a plane, so I couldn't watch them. But I heard there was a lot of disdain. I heard there was a lot of consternation. A lot of people were mad as they were watching the alternative halftime show without even knowing any of the lyrics of Kid Rock or knowing any of his songs. But they were like, oh, I got to be here because if I'm not here, then I'll just look bad. So I got to act like I'm having a good time, even though I'm not having a good time. But you know, America. Anyway, what else do we have? Scary Movie. We know the Scary Movie is happening. Marlon Wayans has talked about that. Has announced that they are going to make another Scary Movie. And he says that the first trailer for Scary Movie will be released on February 27th. So that's next week, y'all. In front of Scream 7. Brilliant. That is brilliant. That's good marketing. That is fantastic. I know it don't take them that long to make these scary movies. But I love the fact that y'all are going to advertise it right before a Scream 7 because obviously Scream has always been one of those movies that inspired scary movies. So that's really cool. I love the ingenuity and the innovation with that. That's very good marketing. But in addition to that, Marlon Wayans also says that White Chicks 2 and Don't Be a Menace 2 will happen if Scary Movie 6 is successful. He says we're going to bring back some hits. Okay. White Chicks came out at a very good time. White Chicks came out back when we had the era of raunchy, in your face, not politically safe comedies. Right? Same with Don't Be a Menace. It was slapstick, goofy comedy in itself. And I asked this question to people last time, but like I'm hard pressed to think in today's world, post-pandemic, because everything shifted after the pandemic. What was the last comedy that really got you out into theaters? And I'm not talking about like action comedy. Like Bad Boys to me is not a comedy, it's an action comedy, right? But what was the last pure comedy that was like, oh man, I got to go out to the theaters. I got to spend my money to go watch this. Have y'all seen anything? Has that been out there at all? I don't know. Like I'm hard pressed because even if I get screenings to go watch these things ahead of time, I'm like, yeah, look, Hangover. Hangover was the last one I remember. I was like, yo, I gotta go see this. I gotta go with my boys. Like, let's go. Other ones, I just kind of wait. I just wait until streaming and I sit down and I laugh at home. And I'm talking about pure comedies. I'm not talking about like, a movie that's like, a horror that has comedy in it or action with comedy. I mean, straight, okay, okay, was Naked Gun successful? I don't know. I didn't go see it. I don't know. Maybe. But y'all let me know. Do y'all think a White Chicks Part 2 could work today? And I'm not talking about sensitivities and stuff like that. I'm just saying, do you think that can still work? Don't Be a Menace. I mean, I like the original Don't Be a Menace. I don't. Humor always changes over time. And sometimes certain humor works best for a certain time period. I don't know if this can still work. I'm not going to say it won't, but I don't know. I do have questions. But good luck. Listen, good luck. I do wish the best of luck for um the Wayans. They always come out with some good stuff, so you know, maybe it'll work. We'll see. Last one. Okay, yeah, last one we'll go over real quick is y'all remember Star Wars, what was it? The Last Jet, not Last Jedi. What it was the really bad one. It was so bad I don't remember the name of it. The Rise of Skywalker. That's it. Sorry. I had to go through the recesses there. Terrible movie. If you recall the end of the movie, it kind of left off in a certain place where it's like, okay, Rey's gonna do her thing, blah 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 blah, right? And it's already been announced that other sequels were going to take place. Who knows if that actually happens or not? But Steven Soderbergh and Adam Driver, who played Kylo Ren, we talked about how the fact that they were pitching the idea that Adam Driver's character, Ben Solo, would come back. And he had a whole movie and everything planned out. But Bob Iger and other people in Disney, they was like, how? No, this doesn't make sense. And they shot it down. They shot the idea down. They was like, how you gonna bring him back? Like, what are you talking about? So Staudenberg came out and said this recently. He says that he did 2.5 years of free work developing the hunt for Ben Solo. The stated reason was, we don't think Ben Solo could be alive, and that was all we were told. And so there's nothing to do about it except move on. He goes on to say, I made the movie in my head, and it just felt bad that nobody else was going to see it. It's insane. We're all very disappointed. But here's the problem I have. And spoiler alert, we're going to talk about what happens at the end. If you recall, The Rise of Skywalker, at the very end, Ben does some Force stuff, helps Rey live, blah, 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 so she can defeat Palpatine. And then this man fades away. And if you're any type of fan of Star Wars, you know that when a Jedi fades away, they become one with the Force. Luke faded away. Ben, he faded away. Like, everybody faded away. What was his name? Qui-Gon? Qui-Gon faded away. Did Qui-Gon fade? I think he did. Eventually. No, he didn't fade at first. But he did learn how to become one with the Force. I think my biggest issue with this is like, oh, Yoda. Thank you. Yoda also faded. Everybody faded. Like, it's a constant thing that if you fade away, you're out of here. You're donezo. So my question for Mr. Soderbergh would be like, if you knew that the biggest contention would be, how could Ben still be alive? Why didn't you just open with that? Like, why did you spend X amount of time making this movie in your head and not answering the simplest, most obvious question? How the hell is this faded off Jedi about to live? Like, what? Did you not have because you would have to pull out an amazing reason. Like, I don't know. Because I'm sitting here thinking like, if Anakin couldn't come back from the past because he joined the Force, if he can't come back, if Luke can't come back, if Yoda can't come back, how is Ben supposed to come back? What are we talking about? So yeah, I'm sorry. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad that, oh, we're never gonna see this. It sounds like you should have gone back to square one and figured out, how does the faded out Jedi come back? And then you can talk about whatever you want after that. We've had a whole Star Wars where people have been cut in half. They've been thrown over, and somehow they've returned. But you couldn't figure out how Ben Solo returned, and now you are disappointed or mad because didn't nobody care about the rest of your movie? All right, sir. Anywho, you guys let me know what you think about all those fun little updates in the comments down below, because yikes. Like, I pick a struggle. Pick a struggle. I don't know who it was. I saw something about who was talking about a From trailer. There it is. Hey, all you have to do is search my channel, type in From, and it's right there. I did it. I did it when the trailer came out. So if you want, actually, I think I did it as a live. So instead of going under videos, and I hate that YouTube does this, you have to actually click on the live tab. So if you click on the live tab, scroll down, you will see my reaction, because we did talk about the From trailer right there. So just FYI, if it ever seems like, oh, how come you didn't talk about it? It's probably under live videos and not From. What do I look like? Being Mr. Fromily himself, not talking about a From trailer. What do I look like? Come on now. Am I a joke to you? Come on now. You know I'm going to talk. Listen, and when the full trailer of From comes out, I'm going to be on top of that too. Okay, I'm going to be all over that. Okay. Oh man, Regina, what's going on? EFAM, nothing but love. Hospitalized a week ago. Bless, I didn't need surgery, but I have to go to rehab. I'm wearing my Sinners Y'all Clan hoodie. Come through. Okay, listen. Shout out to a speedy recovery. Hoping that you definitely have a speedy recovery. You know, and yeah, definitely gonna send some warm thoughts to you, positive thoughts and prayers and all of that. Please get well soon. Get well soon. Glad you didn't need that that surgery either. JN, people weren't excited to see a Christopher Nolan movie with a black lead. Tenet. WB dropped the ball in getting Nolan directed Green Lantern with John David. Well, yeah, I mean they did. I mean WB dropped the past WB, they dropped the ball a whole lot. But you know, listen, at least WB's trying to get their act together, but that's a whole nother can of worms in itself. JN, Finn Jones needs to learn from Caleb. Just saying, yeah. I mean, Finn Jones can learn from a lot of people. Whole lot. All right, just a whole lot. All right, let's get into let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All right, Hollywood and AI. As I mentioned before, we have seen a lot of, and I'm assuming you guys have, because people have been sent, y'all, like, I swear, people send me so many things. People have been messing like, yo, E-Man, have you seen this Venom versus Spider-Man AI video? Have you seen this Dragon Ball Z, you know, Goku versus everybody video? Have you seen this what was it, Tom Cruise, Ethan Hunt versus John Wick? There have been so many AI generated videos that have been challenging Hollywood, right? And you know, I think what I'll do is I'll give you my quick take on it. I mean, no, actually, I'll do that later. We actually had Matthew McConaughey, who was sitting down for some sort of town hall or something with Timothy Chalamet. You see, I got the name right, Chalamet, and they were talking about, you know, the impact of AI and what to do. And McConaughey kind of went into it and shared his thoughts on what the impact will be in Hollywood. And I thought it was kind of interesting to go over. He predicts that AI actors are going to infiltrate the Oscars. Now, we already know that there's that Tilly Norwood complete generated AI actress or whatever. So it's kind of already here, right? And he says, we in 5 years have best AI film, best AI actor? Maybe. I think it could become another category. I'm not sure. It's going to be in front of us in ways we don't even see. It's going to get so good, we're not going to know the difference. That's one of the big questions right now, the question of reality. It's more hazy than ever in a very exciting way, but also a very scary way. Prep for it. Own your own lane so you at least have agency when it starts to trespass. Yeah, I mean, that's a very, very interesting point that he brings up. A couple of points. I mean, for one, we might get to that point. I mean, think about it. The line between AI and CGI visual effects, it's not that big of a line. It's not that deep. It's not that crazy, right? Like I was just sitting here thinking about it. I was like, yo, we have no problem with CGI special visual effects in our movies. It usually helps enhance things. Is it really that different than having AI generate certain things? Now, I think that we are still in the beginning phases of AI to the point where we can recognize it. But I don't know about y'all, but I know some people that cannot tell the difference. I know some people that'll send me stuff and they'll be like, "Yo, E-Man, is this true? Did they really do this?" And I'm like, "Yo, no, that this is AI. You can see the mouth not moving right, or the fingers. All of a sudden, they got 6 fingers when they really should have 5, or the background gets blurry all of a sudden." But I don't know about y'all, but I've seen commercials like some of those drug commercials, straight up all AI. Straight up all AI. Um, it's only going to get better. This is, for my older millennials, this is equivalent to like when we had, the 8-bit, 16-bit video games where players were just blocks and stuff. And we used to be like, woo wee, look at that. And then fast forward 10, 20, 30 years, and a lot of these video games look more real than actual TV. Well, this is gonna be the same deal you know, um, with AI at some point. We're probably going to get to the point where we will have main actors, live actors, and background people be AI. I mean, this was what part of the whole actor strike and the writer strike was about. We might get to that point sooner than later. Who knows? And if we could have a best animation, category, why not have a best AI category? Might be the same thing. But I do like what he said at the end though, where he was like, own your own lane. Um, he's absolutely right with that. If you are an actor, if you're out there, you might as well trademark yourself. Trademark your name, trademark your voice, trademark your image. So that way, down the line, when they do want to copy you or take your performance or whatever, you could be like, give me a piece of that. Give me some of that. Trademark all that. So copyright yourself. What was it? The great James Earl Jones gave up his rights to Star Wars so that way they can still use his voice for Darth Vader and stuff. But guess what? He getting a little something back for that, right? Or his estate is, you know. So that to me is probably the next smart thing. That's the way to move. That's the next best thing. If AI is coming, it's not even about if. It's already here. You might as well get ahead of the curve now and go ahead and license yourself up. Like get everything sealed up and don't get left behind. Don't get left behind. But y'all let me know, how do you feel about this whole issue with AI in Hollywood? Do you think AI is going to challenge Hollywood in a meaningful way? Or do you think we will always just prefer live action, live actors, live people, and it'll stay that way? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, we got only a couple more, and then we will get on up out of here. Okay, we got 3 topics left. Let's do the Marvel stuff real quick. Okay, where is it? There we go. All right, we got a couple MCU updates, rumors, and then we got to talk about Thor as well. Earlier we talked about Spider-Man Brand New Day. No, there was no trailer. I know some people thought there would be a trailer during the Super Bowl, but Marvel's like, nah, we good. But we do have an official synopsis of what Brand New Day is going to be about. So we can go ahead and check that out real quick. It says here that 4 years have gone by since we last caught up with our friendly neighborhood hero. Peter Parker is no more, but Spider-Man is at the top of his game, keeping New York City safe. Things are going well for our anonymous hero until an unusual trail of crimes pulls him into a web of mystery larger than he's ever faced before. In order to take on what's ahead, Spider-Man not only needs to be at the top of his physical and mental game, but he must also be prepared to face the repercussions of his past. Okay. Listening to all of this, I can already surmise a couple of things. For one, I love the direction of how this is already a soft reboot for Peter Parker, right? We're not getting the Peter Parker from the past with Iron Man and Tony Stark and the the armored suit and all the gadgets and no. We getting the good old fashioned, down to earth, street hero Spider-Man that made him one of the most popular, relatable characters, if not ever. So I like the fact that we're going back to that. We're going back to the basics. I will say it does kind of suck that Aunt May ain't there anymore. You know, he doesn't even have that. Like, he's lost everything. He's lost everything. Mary Jane ain't that. Nobody, everybody's gone. Now, even though the world has forgotten about him, now keep in mind with Brand New Day, we have 2 things that are going to be added to this. One, we know the Punisher is going to be involved in some way, shape, or form. All right, cool, right? Always down for the Punisher. Then 2, we know Mark Ruffalo is also going to be in there as well with the Hulk. Well, we can at least assume maybe the Hulk will show up. Now, from the comics, Kingpin. Kingpin is not going to be in there, even though you would think he could and should, seeing as though he is now the mayor of New York City. But copyright issues, at least that's what Vincent D'Onofrio said, that they could not have, he couldn't show up in the Sony stuff. So there's some sort of copyright issue. My assumption, and I know this is not a new theory or anything, Ned is finally going to turn into the Hobgoblin. When they say what, face the repercussions of his past, I'm thinking that that's what that means. I'm thinking that the Hobgoblin, not the Green Goblin, but Ned Leeds is going to become the Hobgoblin, and now Peter is going to have to fight against his old best friend. And obviously his best friend doesn't remember him thanks to the spell from Doctor Strange. And that's going to be the repercussions of his past. Not to mention Mary Jane done, or MJ done moved on and did whatever. Now, 9 times out of 10, this will also be a setup. Oh, Scorpion's also going to be in this too. So if you have Hobgoblin, if you have Scorpion, I'm not going to be surprised if once again there is this ever constant push for the Sinister Six. Sony has had such a hard on for Sinister Six since forever. So this will probably lead into that or tease into it. And we'll see. Oh, yeah, Sadie Sink. Thank you for that. Sadie Sink supposedly is going to be in there. The rumor is that she could be playing Jean Grey. That's the rumor. Maybe. Right? Now, I like the idea of her playing Gwen Stacy. I like that idea of her playing Gwen Stacy. But, listen, Marvel also wants to get the X-Men going. And that could be a way that they introduce it. That could be a way. I mean, what better way to introduce the X-Men than to use one of your most popular fictional characters as a way to kind of get that excitement going? One of my biggest issues, and this has always been an issue with Spider-Man in general, is that they always feel the need to overcrowd his movies. And I don't like that. Because if you really think about the comics and stuff like that, Spider-Man doesn't need to always fight 5 different villains at one time. And that's not what makes Spider-Man dope. What makes Spider-Man great is the fact that he is a regular guy dealing with real huge issues and trying to do the best he can. So this whole idea of like, oh man, we got to have him fight like 7 different people at one time. It's stupid and it's overplayed and y'all need to stop. All you have to do is hype up that one villain. It's not that difficult. Green Goblin was more than enough. Doc Ock, more than enough, right? If y'all were smart and just put Venom in there, that's way more than enough. You don't need 5, 4, 6 different. You don't need all these villains to make a good Spider-Man movie. Just focus on that one villain, why he's a problem or she, and make that work. So, anyway, we got the synopsis for that. Oh, we also talked about, this is another rumor. We also talked about how supposedly Marvel was considering splitting up Avengers Secret Wars, not Doomsday, but Secret Wars into 2 parts. First of all, we already know that Doomsday and Secret Wars are pretty much 2 parts anyway, right? It's one big movie, but it's spliced up into 2, kind of like Infinity War and Endgame. If you were to sit here and tell me that you got to split up Secret Wars again, it's like, come on now. Unless you're going to drop part 1 and part 2 within 3 months of each other, stop. But it sounds like they just have so much stuff that they have in Secret Wars that there was a temptation to split it up into 2. My thing is this, though. This is what home media is for, right? This is how you double dip. Hey, we got all these crazy alternative scenes and alternate endings and all these extra things. That's what Blu-rays were good for. Last time I checked, Lord of the Rings did a fantastic job because they had a whole lot of stuff they wanted to put. You know what they did? They made an extended cut. And, for Lord of the Ring fans, to me, the extended cut was always better than the actual theatrical release. So what you could do is just double dip, right? Go ahead, drop that certain movie in theaters. You don't think that Marvel fans and everybody else going to want to rush to go get that physical media? And then, even if you don't want to do physical media, just put the extended cut on your streaming platform, Disney Plus. That might be another reason people even sign up, because I'm telling you right now, it's a struggle thinking of like why to keep Disney Plus. If I did not have my kids that watch Bluey and watch all these other little shows on Disney Plus, I would not need Disney Plus right now. Disney Plus it's unnecessarily expensive to keep because what's on Disney Plus right now that's got people watching? Netflix, yes, there's a whole bunch of stuff, to watch on there. What's on Disney Plus that's new, that's exciting, that's got people going? I don't know. Do you? So that would be the case. But anyway, according to Jeff Snyder, Marvel Studios is currently not planning to split Avengers Secret Wars into two parts because of the difficulty of scheduling the enormous cast and having to pay Robert Downey Jr.'s enormous salary again. That makes all the sense in the world. Y'all forget Robert Downey Jr. has got Marvel by the cojones. Every time this man shows up, he's making real Tony Stark money. Okay? Robert Downey Jr. makes a $1 billion every time he just shows his face on screen. What did he make for Spider-Man Homecoming? I think this man made like $10 million for 5 minutes. Like 5 minutes of screen time, 10 minutes, $2 million something per minute. Nuts. That is nuts. So you're dang on right. Ain't no way Marvel can afford more Robert Downey Jr. at all. Y'all can't afford it, especially not with today's movie industry. The way that this movie industry, listen, and I'm saying this now before anybody says, oh, Doomsday flopped or Secret Wars flopped. After the pandemic, you are not going to see movies making $2-3 billion anymore. That benchmark is done. That was before. Now you will see movies just like Avatar. They will make maybe $1 billion, maybe $1.5 billion. You're not going to see no $2.5 billion no time. That is done for. It is over with, especially with streaming, especially with them shutting down, keeping the release windows down, Now, yeah, actually, good point, Eugene. If China shows up, sure. But the benchmarks are no longer the same. We restarted, and basically whatever Avatar, Marvel, and maybe Star Wars does, that's going to be our new benchmark. But I like the fact that we are not going to get anything. We're not going to get this thing. We're not going to get a two-parter. I like that. I think that's smart. Let's go. Now let's talk about Thor, because Chris Hemsworth has been doing some interviews with his movie Crime 101, and he has some thoughts about Thor Love and Thunder. Now, he's talked about this before, and I do like the fact that he did kind of come out and was like, yeah, we kind of messed up, right? We kind of went a little too far with Thor Love and Thunder. So I do appreciate him coming out with that. He says here that they took the piss too much with Thor Love and Thunder. It was kind of like a Monty Python sketch, and we took the piss probably a little much. Then there was some backlash. There was this real kind of, why is he a goofball and why is it like this? Yes. Like that's yes. Like we were fine. You started off Thor serious and Thor 1 and 2. 2 is still trash. 1 is not that good either. I don't care what y'all talking about. But then you also have Thor Ragnarok, which is clearly the best Thor movie, period. One of the easy top 10, maybe for some top 5 Marvel MCU movie. And then you do Thor Love and Thunder. Why? Like, I was just looking at my video And even though I was like, this ain't for me. Like when I went to the premiere, I still think I wasn't hard enough on it. Now, granted, it was me coming straight out the theater, but ugh, like hindsight's 2020. But yeah, that movie was bad. So I do like the idea that he recognized that this was not a good thing, that y'all did too much and y'all need to pull back. And he goes on to have some more comments. He says, regarding returning as more serious Thor in Avengers Doomsday, that is a different tone than, I guess, what Love and Thunder was. So it sounds like he got the message. It sounds like they understand. It sounds like, okay, hey, we're not coming back with goofy Thor no more. We're doing Avengers Doomsday. It's time for us to actually get back to business. That's what I want to hear. I do want to hear that. I'm happy about that. Now, this is the one thing I do have an issue with. This part right here. Chris Hemsworth teases that there are unique plans for Thor after Avengers Doomsday. He says, we've got some ideas to do something pretty unique again and hopefully be different. All right. This is my problem when it comes to Thor and the MCU. Thor gets so much privilege that for whatever reason, to me, it's still, I know why it makes sense, but I don't like the fact that if you sat here and said you have a character who has 4 movies, and out of those 4 movies, one is really, really good, one is all right, and the other 2 are trash. How are you giving that character more chances, but you can't do that same courtesy for someone like Kang the Conqueror? I want y'all to remember that Thor is getting all these opportunities and chances that he does not deserve. Meanwhile, Marvel got scared, pivoted, and moved away from Kang the Conqueror because of Jonathan Majors. Not saying it's about Jonathan Majors. I'm talking about the character, because y'all got a little pushback. Because y'all got a little, oh, Ant-Man and the Wasp wasn't that great. So it wasn't Kang's fault. Remember, there would be no Avengers Doomsday or Secret Wars. We were supposed to get into Kang Dynasty. That's what we were supposed to get. But Marvel got scared with Kang the Conqueror. But Thor Love and Thunder didn't scare y'all. That should have scared y'all right away. Y'all should have been like, hey, man, maybe we don't need to do no more Thor movies. I'm just saying, why didn't y'all keep the same energy? Kang had far more potential in his time-traveling pinky than Thor has ever demonstrated. Y'all have been so inconsistent with Thor's character. I'm talking about, if you really do a deep dive into what Thor started off as and where he could have been, his character don't make no sense. 1 minute it's about him being worthy. Then the next minute, okay, he finally gets worthy, but now he's trying to find purpose. Then he goes out in the universe, he thinks he finds purpose, but then he doesn't really find purpose because his purpose is based off of what other people want his purpose to be. But then he goes off and tries to find himself, but he doesn't find himself because he got to go find a little stepdaughter that now he got to go raise, but now he don't know what's going, like, what are we talking about? Who is Thor? What is Thor doing? Y'all got him playing stepdaddy out here to a cosmic little kid, but y'all don't know, but y'all want to keep giving him more movies. Meanwhile, the constant villain that is the time-traveling master of Kang the Conqueror, y'all don't want to do nothing with him? The level of privilege that Thor has gotten is out of hand. It's ridiculous. This is nothing against Chris Hemsworth. I like Chris Hemsworth as an actor. He's fine. He does a good job as Thor. I'm talking about the storytelling direction and energy put behind certain characters and not others. Anyway, y'all let me know. What do you think about, you know, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think Thor should keep getting more opportunities? Are you excited for more? Let me know what you think about Spider-Man and all the other Marvel updates, and whether or not Secret Wars should be 2 parts or not. Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Nelson, will we see Doctor Strange undo the spell? I don't think so. I don't think we will see him undo the spell that he put on the world, because that spell was necessary. We needed everyone to forget Peter Parker, and we needed Spider-Man to start over, because Spider-Man, again, and I know I talked about this before, but like, Marvel has got to get back on track. And the best way they can do that is by no longer living in the past. If you think about it, because I told y'all, I'm not judging Marvel or the MCU based off of whatever they do in Avengers, Doomsday, and Secret Wars. I'm judging Marvel harsher after Secret Wars. After y'all done reset timelines, after y'all done rebooted stuff, you guys will have no excuses. Marvel cannot say, oh, we don't own all the rights to our characters. Y'all got most of them now. Y'all good. They can't say, oh, well, we could only do these storylines. No. You got all the feedback you had that you need. You learned from the pandemic where y'all messed up. Y'all redid how you're doing TV, so you can't use that as an excuse anymore. You have the X-Men back. Like, it's game time now. You got your full roster. Y'all have a working relationship with Sony. I don't want to hear no excuses now. So I don't think we'll see that undoing of the spell. I think they have to kind of keep it that way. And we'll see what happens. Quiet One, thank you so much. Hollywood always makes that mistake with Spider-Man and Batman movies, with overfilling with villains to try to put their butts in seats, try and put butts in seats. Yeah, I know. And they don't need to, right? Like Batman, especially. Like I liked the fact that, with the OG, the GOAT, Michael Keaton, it was Batman, Joker, and I mean, yeah, you had Catwoman, but she wasn't really a villain. Like, she was kind of like, I'm in between, whatever. I like that. That was cool, right? But like, once you started getting into like, Batman Returns and Batman Forever, and like, oh, well, we need Poison Ivy and Mr. Freeze and Two-Face, and it's like, yo, stop. Just stop. Because when y'all got all these distractions, you take away one of the greatest strengths in these comic book movies. And I think people underestimate the fact that when you elevate a villain that challenges the hero, that's what makes the movie or the story better. Every villain, they have one job, and that is to raise the stakes to make the hero better. But if you got a whole bunch of other villains in there and they're all, it's kind of like, all right, I don't know who to pay attention to, And that's why I think even in The Dark Knight, I don't know if y'all noticed this, because I notice in a lot of conversations when The Dark Knight is brought up, there are 2 things don't nobody ever talk about. Y'all don't talk about Batman, and y'all don't talk about Two-Face. Did y'all remember Two-Face was even in that movie? Y'all didn't even remember. Some people don't care. Why? Because Heath Ledger did such a fantastic job, of course. But here's the crazy thing about it. To me, they could have taken Two-Face out of there, and the movie still would have been great. So that lets me know you don't need to have all these extra villains and stuff. All you need to do is elevate that one villain and really make that villain push the hero to their limit and hopefully elevate. And that's how you have a really good comic book superhero movie. But yeah, putting all these villains and stuff, it's stupid. It's stupid. More is not always better. Did Strange Nelson, thank you. Did Strange stop an incursion casting the spell? No, I mean, I don't think he did, or if he did, it might have been just one. Because I mean, and honestly, we don't know. We don't really know if he helped one incursion, and maybe he did, or maybe if it was kind of like a band-aid. It's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. And I guess, we'll see, because keep in mind, Cleo showed up after and was like, hey, we got to go. We got some more incursions out there. So I don't know. And honestly, I don't think he can stop them anyway. Like even if he stops one or two, it's going to be so many incursions that it's like, all right, like I can't just do this. Like there's not enough magic. There's not enough of me in the world to do this anyway. So I think that's going to be something for them to really get into and hopefully explain. But 9 times out of 10, I feel as though Dr. Doom is going to be the one who will stop it all. Dr. Doom's going to be the one that's got the answer. He's going to be like, nah, I got this. Because remember, he got to be a hero. He has to be a hero. All right, let's get into real quick the WB and Netflix stuff. Of course, in case you forgot, WB is up for sale. Netflix has made their offer. WB said, all right, cool. Like we gonna go out with y'all, right? Like we like you. We're gonna go out with you. Paramount, in the meantime, has been like, we got money. We got straight cash, homie. Like, what's up? And WB was like, get out of here. Like, no, we ain't trying to mess with you, right? Like we're gonna go out with Netflix. And Paramount was like, wait a minute. I said I got the monies. What do you mean? All right, how about this? I have even more money. Now we can go out, right? And WB was like, no, like we don't like you. Go away. We're going out with Netflix. We about to go steady. Kick rocks. And Paramount was like, I don't like this, Mr. President. This is unfair. Netflix is messing up my date with WB, and I want to go out with WB. So they tried to do a hostile takeover. They tried to take it straight to the shareholders, and they still got turned down. WB and the chair people was just like, nah, we're good. So after the 8th time, they kept getting turned down. After the 8th time. Well, you can't keep a good Paramount down, because they gonna be like, hey, the 9th time has got to be the charm. So Paramount is adding even more financial incentives to convince Warner Brothers shareholders to let them buy the studio. They will give shareholders $650 million per quarter if the takeover isn't done by the end of 2026. They will pay the $2.8 billion termination fee on Netflix's deal. They say, listen, we know that Netflix was going to take you out on this dinner and they have plans. We going to cover that too. Okay, we going to cover all the fees. We going to cover everything over there, and we going to pay y'all all the monies. 10 times more all the monies. And Netflix was like, man, Warner Brothers was like, listen, man, wait, hold on, what you say? Because now Warner Brothers is considering restarting sales talks with Paramount after their latest offer. So it looks like the 9th charm, maybe it's not the charm, but now they're listening. Now WB is actually listening. And I cannot express to you guys enough why this is an issue. I mean, we've talked about this before. But I've told y'all that I don't like just how cozy the Ellison group family who owns Paramount. I don't like how close they are to this administration. I don't like how willing they appear to be to alter media coverage that the president just so happens to not like. So, turning a CNN more conservative or whatever. And let me tell you this, because I'm not going to take no sides with this. I wouldn't want that to happen the other way around either. I wouldn't want a Biden administration or a Democratic administration to sit here and be like, hey, Fox News or, America now, whatever, the right wing. I wouldn't want them telling them what they can do or say either, right? Like, we should have the ability to not have the billionaires kowtowing to any political administration and altering the media or press or speech with whatever's convenient. That should not happen in America. We should not have to be subjected to that. You want to watch right-wing stuff? Go watch it. You want to watch left-wing stuff? Go watch it. You want to watch political stuff that's down the middle? Go watch it. We should have that independence and not be concerned that the owners and billionaires of these studios are going to do whatever the administration in power says. That's not okay. That's not American. So you also had some of the titans in the industry. So now we've talked about how the writers guilds have already been against this. The directors guilds have been against this purchase of Paramount with WB, with WB and Netflix. And now we got the other GOAT, James Cameron. He ain't with this either. And he wrote a letter to a senator, Mike Lee, I think, to about this whole Netflix WB deal. So yeah, he sent it to Senator Mike Lee, who is chair of the Senate subcommittee on antitrust, because the antitrust stuff that could stop the Netflix deal anyway. That could stop a lot of these deals, right? And Cameron said, I believe strongly that the proposed sale of Warner Brothers Discovery to Netflix will be disastrous for the theatrical motion picture business that I have dedicated my life's work to. Of course, my films all play in the downstream video markets as well, but my first love is the cinema. He says theaters will close. Fewer films will be made. The job losses will spiral. The business model of Netflix is directly at odds with the theatrical film production and exhibition business. It is therefore directly at odds with the business model of the WB movie division. So James Cameron's like, don't do it. Please don't do it. Like, do not let this happen. Netflix is bad for WB and the movie industry. Now, here's the funny thing. James Cameron is only talking about Netflix buying WB. And that's when the Hulk came through. Mark Ruffalo said, hold up, wait a minute. I got questions. So he was asked about what James Cameron said to the senator. And y'all know, if you know Mark Ruffalo, now I know we got our issues when it comes to the Hulk and stuff like that. But listen, one thing Mark Ruffalo ain't going to do is hold his tongue when it comes to political issues and his beliefs. Okay, this man will say what he want to say to whoever, however, whenever. Okay, so he fired back and he said, so the next question to Mr. Cameron should be this: Are you also against the monopolization that a Paramount acquisition would create, or is it just that of Netflix? He says, I think the answer would be very interesting for the film community to hear, and one that should be asked immediately. Is Mike Lee against the Paramount sale as well? Is he as concerned about that as he is the Netflix sale? We all want to know, speaking on behalf of hundreds of thousands of filmmakers worldwide. And he's right. In other words, Mark Ruffalo's asking, sir, will you keep the same energy for Paramount if they want to buy out WB? And that should be a very good question, because any one of these companies comes with its own issues. If Netflix buys WB, yes, you run a big risk of lack of original content, lack of quantity, because that's just one less major studio doing different things. Now, co-CEO Ted Sarandos, he has said, oh, we're going to keep it the same, and oh, we're going to keep 45-day release windows. For now, that don't mean he's going to keep it forever. Right? He might do that the first week and be like, oh, sorry, everything going straight to Netflix now. We don't know. And yeah, as I just mentioned before, you got a whole situation with Paramount with a conflict of interest, given how cozy they want to play footsie with the current administration. So, who knows? Both of these are problematic. And Mark Ruffalo is absolutely right that the very next person that talks to James Cameron needs to ask him, you got the same energy for Paramount too? Because you should. You should. Anyway, what do y'all think about the Paramount WB deal? What do y'all think about what James Cameron had to say, or Mark Ruffalo? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Ooh, Magic, what you got? It would be dope to have Brother Voodoo appear in the MCU. I agree. Listen, shout out to the actor. I'm mad I forget his name, but the brother that played Simon Williams' father. He was in Wonder Man. Keep in mind, they are Haitian. Now, if you know the comics, Simon's brother, at least in the comics, does turn into a villain. But it would be interesting if Simon's daddy turned into Brother Voodoo. You already got the Haitian connection right there. Sac passe. Okay? So, yes, that would be wild. But I do think that they have some seeds there that can work. I do think so. Shogun, what you got? Why do I feel like WB has always wanted to be with Paramount, but they're using Netflix to squeeze Paramount to a higher price? That's very, very possible. Maybe. I guess the only, I don't know, because I'm like, it's not the first time that Paramount squeezed them for some money, or it's not the first time Paramount raised their offer. Remember, they offered like 100 billion, and they was like, all right, we'll do 108 billion. Like they kept going up and up and up. So, but yeah, I mean, listen, that could be a shrewd tactic for negotiation. Could be. Larry, what you got? Thanks, man. What dumb stuff has Scorsese been saying now? Pushing up my glasses like Richard Dreyfuss. Boy, man, that's a call back. That is a call back. Y'all remember Dreyfuss, old dumb self? Thank you for that segue, because now we can talk about Martin Scorsese, because apparently he's got a new role. Yes, the legendary director in Hollywood he now has a new role. And I don't know, some of y'all probably heard about this. Maybe some of y'all haven't. But in case y'all forgot, Martin Scorsese has been one of the biggest critics of cinema. And we will get into that in just a second. But in case you did not know, y'all might be hearing a very familiar voice very soon, because Martin Scorsese is officially confirmed to be cast in The Mandalorian and Grogu. Yeah, that's right. The man who believes that Marvel and Star Wars movies are like theme parks and not true cinema is now cast as a voice in The Mandalorian and Grogu. That's the character that he plays right there. Wow. Listen, I did not have this on my bingo card. At no point did I ever have it'd be one thing if you told me, hey, one day Martin Scorsese might direct a Star Wars or a Marvel movie. That's one thing. But to actually play a role, never would have. Y'all could have bet me money. I would have lost all of it. All of it. So let's get into this article, because I found this article kind of interesting. Found it a little interesting. It says here that Martin Scorsese will be, let me make this a little bigger for y'all. He will be securing a role in Star Wars movie as a voice as a Ardeninian shopkeeper with info on the Hutts, Jabba the Hutt and all that, right? Now, keep in mind, go back into his history, that Scorsese said that Marvel movies are not cinema, and that proclamation, it stuck with him, and it found himself the punching bag of the internet, which regarded him as a snob. Yeah, I guess my name is the internet, because y'all know I definitely gave that man a couple of pieces of my mind every time he opened up his mouth. But let's continue. Scorsese has repeatedly clarified that he does not deny the talent involved in blockbuster filmmaking. That's not the point. I just want to clarify that. When you sit here and talk about that these movies are not cinema, that they're this and that, no one said that you didn't say that these people weren't talented. What you said was that the work and product that they made was not film. It was not cinema. That's the issue. So that little defense means absolutely nothing, right? It means absolutely nothing that you're like, oh, but I'm not talking about the people. I'm not talking about the filmmakers. I'm not talking about the talent. I'm just saying that the work y'all did is trash. That's what you're saying. But let's continue. It says here, the distinction he draws is about intention and risk. Franchise films, he argues, are engineered to satisfy a pre-existing audience expectation, to deliver spectacle, continuity, and emotional beats that fit within an established system. That system leaves little room for the uncertainty, vulnerability, and creative danger that he associates with art. And just so you know, and this is according to the author, he was right to say it. So I would like to say, no, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. Because even with that distinction that Scorsese made, it still falls apart. And I need y'all to indulge me for a second, because it's time for a rant. Martin Scorsese was wrong and has been wrong with his take about what cinema is. And I'm tired of people pretending like he's not. It doesn't matter what he's done on his resume or how good people think his movies are. That doesn't make him the final authority to define what cinema is or isn't. He's obviously entitled to his own opinion, but let's get something straight. Cinema or movies are a form of art. As I've always said, art is a form of communication from one human to a group of others. If a film is able to achieve its goal to whatever audience that may be, then that is cinema. If a comedy makes you laugh, that's cinema. If a horror makes you scared, that's cinema. If a drama makes you cry, that's cinema. If a mystery keeps you guessing, that's cinema. And yes, if a superhero movie excites you with spectacle and action and all this other stuff, then that's cinema. Scorsese's take on cinema is just as bad as a retired football or basketball player criticizing the sports of today. You know, the ones who say, that's not the way you play quarterback. That's not a true point guard. Excuse me. Did they score all the points and win the game? Does it really matter that they ran the football in and scored a touchdown rather than passed it? At the end of the day, this notion that because a movie isn't exclusively a dramatic Oscar bait film is exactly what contributes to the stereotype of the pretentiousness that infects the movie-going community. We can have our opinions on the quality of movies all day, but to sit here and believe that just because a movie isn't made the way you like it makes it less of a film is peak level of being a straight up snob. So I'm not here for, Scorsese's excuses. I do think it's absolutely hypocritical for him to go play a role in a Star Wars theme park type of movie. But at the end of the day, like, man, a movie is a movie is a movie. Like, stop sitting here acting all snobbery, acting as though, like, just because, listen, you already make your movies. You already do what you want to do, and that's fine. I don't care about The Irishman, but I'm never going to sit here and say that's not cinema. I mean, listen, Venom exists. Fast and Furious exists. We can sit here and say that these movies are bad movies, but I'm not going to sit here and say they're not movies because someone out there is going to be inspired by them. I don't know why. I don't know how, but they will. Someone out there is going to really enjoy those films. It doesn't make them less art just because you don't like it. My 9-year-old can sit here and give me this little doodle sketch, but just because it's not Picasso, it doesn't make that less art. It doesn't remove the message of love that was baked into that little doodle either. So no, he can lose me with his opinion on these things. I don't care who it is in the industry, what they've done. Movies are art. Art is subjective, but it doesn't make it less of art just because you don't like it or it's not your cup of tea. So you can miss me with all that stuff about, oh, well, I wasn't talking about the talent, or, oh, well, they only do spectacle, and, oh, well, it doesn't have vulnerability. So what? Maybe that's just not the job of that film. Films do different things for different people at different times. So anyway, I think it's hilarious that this man has actually showed up in the very type of films that he, looked down upon and snubbed at or whatever. So y'all can make it at what you will, but you guys let me know, what are your thoughts on Scorsese and his opinion on cinema? Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let me know what you think about him being in Star Wars. Is that peak hypocrisy? Whatever you think, let me know. All right. That is it. Quiet One. The Irish man ran out of money. Listen, the money ran out, and so did my time with it. That time and patience ran out too. That movie was long for no reason. That whole car ride about talking about fish, I was like, you don't even know how to do editing anymore because you did not need that scene at all. But I already know, and here's the irony. I know I'm not even going to add this in there, but here's the irony in all this. You also going to have the main people, the film bros, that are going to come and defend Scorsese because they just as bad. And yes, I will say you're just as bad. Because if you have this level of gatekeeping of what makes art, then yeah, you are bad. You are the reason why people have negative feelings about certain folks in the film community. Y'all need to learn to tell the difference. If you want to criticize stuff and the quality, fine. That's up for grabs. But not saying that this is art or this is not. No, nah, man. Y'all gotta go. Y'all, all that pretentiousness, y'all gotta go with that. Miss me with that. All right. That's it. That's all I got for today, guys. I want to thank each and every one of you for hanging out with me today. I so appreciate it. As I mentioned, please keep an eye out for the Critics on Critics. Hey, even if you don't watch it, feel free to just give it a like. Go ahead and watch it. Let them numbers go up. I'm trying to do something with this, right? I'm trying to do something. So appreciate any support. And like I said, feel free to leave comments, ideas, topics that you would like. I do have some big ideas for this later on, and hopefully, it'll only be for your enjoyment. So that's all I got, guys. Feel free to enjoy your the rest of your weekend. You guys know the routine. Wash your hands, wash your butts, and everything in between. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace.